Hey my crafty critters, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cami Ewalt, and today I want to show you guys how we took the design I made in the last video that I will also link down in the description and create this just super cute, whimsical fall glitter burst and hydro dip situation going on. And if you are here for that tutorial, let's get into it. I'm starting off with a 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler from Makerful Crafts that I have sanded and washed and then taped off about 2/3 of the cup. I didn't measure, I kind of eyeballed it. And then I took it outside and spray painted this kind of tan color. I'll link the colors in the description. And then I kind of misted over it with a metallic rose gold just to give it a tiny bit of shimmer. And then I took the tape off, set it up on my drying rack, and I let that dry for about 30 minutes to an hour. I then filled a 5-gallon bucket with water and just let it come to room temperature. You don't want it too hot or too cold. And I'm using these Easy Marble paints from Maribu paints, and I'm using this rich green and copper. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. I'm super excited. So I just shake them super well and kind of drip them into the water. There's no really rhyme or reason there. And then I just continue to kind of layer them into the bucket. You don't need a ton, but you definitely want enough to cover the bottom of the cup and make a pretty good swirl. So I just go back and forth a couple times, and then I just take a stick and stir it just a little. If it's starting to clump up on the surface, just run it through and run your stick up the side of the bucket, and it'll kind of release that from your stirring stick. And then I take my cup and kind of at an angle, and then as I'm pushing down into the water slowly, I'm rotating the cup, and then I kind of shake and make sure there's no paint around the cup and pull it out, and take a paper towel and just dry it, just barely dab it to dry it off. You don't want to like rub it or anything. And then again, I take my tape off and set it up on my drying rack to dry. After creating the design last week, I cut it on the shape tape from Aryistry and realized that the little intricate details within the leaves and the stem just were going to cause havoc for the design. So I went back in and edited those out with the edit points and silhouette and cut it again on the shape tape. And I just kind of wrap it around my tumbler, make sure it fits right, secure it with some painter's tape, peel off some of the backing and cut it off with scissors, and then I just gently glide it down. I did wind up getting this off just a little bit somehow, even with all of this fuss. So give yourself some grace. Sometimes it doesn't come out exactly right, but I then very carefully take off the tape to make sure I don't pull up any part of the design, and then just like a vinyl wrap, work the backing off of the one side of the double-sided sticky tape and glide it down onto the cup. As I'm pushing, the backing is coming off. It's kind of nifty that way. So you make sure that you're not stretching out any of the lines or the cut work in the design. That'll kind of throw off your design, but just take your time, get it all off, and then we move on. And I like to start on the part of the design that is going to be the darkest glitter. That way I'm not contaminating lighter glitter as we go along. And I just remove all of those parts. So if you need to have the design up on your computer or your phone as kind of a roadmap, or maybe even like number or color coded or something like that, that might be helpful. I completely forgot to record the brown part and the taking off of the shape tape for the green part, but luckily it is all very repetitive. So you just take the top part off, revealing the sticky substance, and then you're going to sprinkle on your color. You're going to rub it in with your finger a little bit, knock off as much as you can, and then I'm just taking a chip brush here and brushing the snot out of it to make sure I can get as much loose glitter off for each individual color as I can. And then you just continue on with each individual color that you want to use on the cup. For the letters, I actually used Pot of Gold from Grateful Glitters, and this is a beautiful, it's actually a top coat additive, so it's a super micro fine color, but it worked out so well for these super tiny intricate letters. So then I just brush it off again, and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. That's the joy of the Shape Tape. And then you just go in. This is Aryistry Epoxy. I mixed up 30 milliliters. I used between 25 and 28 milliliters probably. And I just started at the bottom. I didn't seal my glitter. If you're worried about glitter migrating, you definitely could seal it with like a Rust-Oleum clear spray paint, but I just epoxied as I normally do, going side to side with the roll, and then starting from the bottom and brushing up to the top over that rim, and wait about 10 minutes for it to spin, come back in and run the torch over it to pop any bubbles, and I then let that spin for 1 hour and come back in and do the second coat to make sure everything's good and smooth. And I saw Vanessa Davis use this product in one of her videos this fall. It's like a khaki wallpaper peel and stick, and it looks like burlap, and so I thought that'd be super cute on this tumbler. I just measured out about a ½ inch, cut it just with a craft knife, and put it around my tumbler. And then I wanted to bring some of those custom mixed glitters that I used down into this striping tape. So I used some of the leftover Shape Tape that I had cut and cut them at about 1/4 inch and lined each side of that burlap situation going on in the middle. And then I just used that mixed brown. I will link all of the custom mixed glitter colors from Grateful Glitters down in the description. And I got them on both sides, and then I decided I wanted to go ahead and put another stripe right across the middle of that burlap looking stuff. And so I brushed it off really, really well and put another stripe of that Shape Tape down. And then I wanted to kind of carry the green from the stems and the green from down in the Hydro Dip into the tumbler. So I went ahead and cut a couple of more strips of that Shape Tape. And these were just a little bit smaller than the 1/4 inch, but not quite as small as an 1/8 inch, I don't think. But I just laid them on either side of that brown and sprinkled in the green glitter mix that I used. And one of the coolest things about the Shape Tape is that you don't have to wait for it to dry. So as soon as I was done with this, I just brushed it off really, really well, mixed up 30 milliliters of Aryistry Epoxy, and then I am going in for the first of 2 final coats, and then this tumbler is done. It turned out so stinking cute. I love how the kind of fall colors of the green and copper Hydro Dip really played into the glitter colors that we used up in the top burst. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you guys have any questions, leave those down there as well. Please like and subscribe, and I invite you to check out these other videos on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Bye.